just got some major updates concerning Jude and that shoulder injury. Now, according to the player himself, whenever Real Madrid's Club World Cup journey comes to an end, he will be getting that surgery. And now we're starting to see a lot of reports come out, and they're talking about how much time he's going to miss. Now, I don't know about you, but I am pissed off with the club because we've all known that Jude has been dealing with this shoulder issue for over a year now. Jude injured that shoulder in his debut season in November 2023. So why is it that we're waiting until the summer of 2025 to get it taken care of? This is something that could have been handled a year ago. This is a surgery that Jude should have gotten at the end of last season, once we realized that we weren't going to win anything. But now we're going to be heading into a new season with a new manager, and we're going to be severely impacted in that midfield. Because now we're going to be missing Jude for basically the entire first half of next season. His recovery process is not short. It's not like he's just going to miss a few weeks. They're talking about Jude being out for months. So he's going to miss the opening Champions League matches. He's going to miss the first El Clasico. More than likely, he's going to miss the first Madrid derby as well. So I'm very annoyed. But we got to talk about this because it's something that we all knew needed to happen, but a lot of people just weren't sure when the surgery would take place. But Jude has confirmed, after the Club World Cup, it's going down. And he's going to miss multiple months. I need you guys to get in the comment section and let me know what you think about Jude's injury. Because do you think like me, right? Do you think the club should have gave him this surgery months ago, a year ago, or do you think this is the right time? We also have to look at what Xabi Alonso could potentially do to replace Jude in the starting 11 while he recovers. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Let's get it. So after our game against Pachuca, a reporter asked Jude about his shoulder, and this is what he said.
Surgery on my shoulder a couple of days after. Hopefully we get to the final. Yeah, I'll get the surgery. I'm sick of playing in the brace, especially in this heat. You know, it's nice to have my old body back, my old shoulder back. So yeah, really looking forward.
There you go. The surgery will happen this summer, and like I said, the reports are saying he's going to be out 3 to 4 months. So the Club World Cup ends in July, so he'll probably be back early to mid-November. And that's if everything goes well, no setbacks. Now, we got to talk about a couple of things, right? We have to break it down. I am annoyed that he's getting this surgery now, when I think this could have happened a lot earlier. But if you look at it in context, I can kind of understand where the club is coming from. So, in Jude's first season, in the 23-24 campaign, when we signed him, right? Jude, to begin, first half, phenomenal, right? That's when he was bagging damn near every week, scored a couple match winners, right? This is when he was playing as that false 9/striker role because Benzema left. And then he gets injured. Now, when he comes back from that injury, the second half of that season, he doesn't really look that good, right? His performances dropped off slightly. He was still impactful, but it wasn't like what we saw in the beginning. The shoulder was bugging him. Now, I understand why the club would have waited at that point, because we were in the La Liga title race, right? We had to still compete for the Champions League, and we ended up winning both of those, and we ended up winning the Spanish Super Cup. So now when that happens, it gives you a bit of grace, okay? Because it's like, okay, Jude, just wait for the surgery because of how much things we're still competing for, and then you can get it later. But the issue is, the summer of 2024 was the Euros. So Jude didn't have a chance to rest because he had to go play for his country in a major tournament. Then after that tournament ends, he could have got the surgery then. But Real Madrid didn't do it. We then start off this last season, and we were shit. For the last 9 months, we were awful. Why did Jude not get this surgery towards the end of this past season? Once we got knocked out of the Champions League by Arsenal, I'm gonna be real, he should have got the surgery then. Because we already knew what it was, right? We already knew that we were not gonna beat Barcelona. They absolutely dog-walked us every time we played them. They beat us in 2 cup finals. They won La Liga indirectly on our head tops. And I get it. The Club World Cup is here, so the team wants Jude out there to help us win it. It's a major trophy. There's a lot of money involved. But I don't think we need Jude to win this. Obviously, having him there, it does help us. But I feel like this was a tournament that he could have missed so that he could be ready for the start of La Liga. We have players in that midfield that I think can cover for him and do a good job while he's out. So, from November of 2023 to July of 2025, Jude has been dealing with this shoulder problem. And this, to be honest, has probably made it worse. You know when you have an injury that requires you to see a doctor, and I know Jude's getting some great care at Real Madrid, but we know that he needs that surgery. He's been playing damn near 90 minutes every game that he's available. So you don't think that him waiting to get this shoulder fixed didn't mess it up a little bit more? That's probably why the recovery time is so long. If we would have got the surgery when the injury first happened, he probably would have only missed maybe a month. Now we're looking at 3 to 4 months. I'm annoyed, bro. This is why I think sometimes these clubs don't put the best interest of the player. They always do what's better for them. And while I get it, I think it's messed up as well. Because you could have permanently injured Jude's shoulder. Now, I want to look at what Xabi Alonso can possibly do. And obviously, once the Club World Cup ends, all these things are going to get confirmed, right? We're going to know what day his surgery is going to be, and they'll give us a specific timeline on when he'll come back, and then we'll talk about it then. But right now, it's all speculation because we don't exactly know what day he will be back for sure, and we don't know how far Real Madrid will go in this tournament. Now, I expect us to win it, and if we make the final, that means we're going to be in it very long. So, again, it ends in mid-July. We'll see what happens then. But as far as Xabi Alonso is concerned, I think the midfield that we have is very strong. And yeah, Jude not being there is going to suck. But there are other options that we can put into this midfield that will keep us cooking, in my opinion. So, I'm going to build it right here with you guys. Now, it looks like Xabi Alonso wants to stick with this back four. So I personally think that we're going to end up running a 4-2-3-1 underneath Xabi Alonso primarily, right? Now, in goal, obviously he's going to be Courtois. At right back, Trent. Again, this is just my predictions, right? We're not going to factor in any possible transfers. I'm going to just build this with the players that we have now. I think it'll be Rudiger. Yeah, because Asensio's been messing up during this Club World Cup. I can't see him starting over Rudiger. Or my guy, Housen. Okay. Left back, I think Fran Garcia makes more sense in a Xabi Alonso system. And I know that we're looking at Alvaro Carreras, but I don't want to speculate on if he comes or not. So with the players that we have right now, this is what I'm predicting, like I said. Then I think it'll be Tchouaméni in the 6. It'll be Valverde as like that right mid. Then on the right, if Rodrigo's still here, then I'll say him. It could be Brahim if Rodrigo leaves. Maybe it could be Franco Mastuano, depending on how he plays. But let's say Rodrigo stays, right? Let's say, because who knows what's going to happen at the moment. But let's say if Rodrigo's still here. Now, in the 10, I think Arda Güler needs to start. This, for me, is the way while Jude is out. Vinicius. And then Mbappe in the 9. I think this would be our strongest 11 while Jude is recovering. Now, again, if Rodrigo leaves, then you could play Brahim there. You can play Franco. At left back, we're probably going to have another or better player that's going to be available. But I still think our midfield will cook, right? We also got Camavinga that could be in contention. Danny Ceballos as well. So we have options. Xabi Alonso is going to figure it out. But yeah, we're not going to have Jude until about November. And it does suck because when you look at how last season went, we were so pathetic that Jude should have just got the surgery after that game against Arsenal. Like, once they dog-walked us and knocked us out the UCL, his season should have been shut down from then. But like I said, we'll get more updates the closer that it goes on in the Club World Cup, depending on how far we go. And then we'll know for sure on these different things. But get in the comment section. Let me know what you guys are saying about Jude and this shoulder stuff that's going on. And who do you think should go into that starting 11 to replace him? Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications. Join the Discord. The link is pinned down below. Holla Madrid!